Lillian Davenport arrives in Rawhide, Nevada, with nothing but a shattered heart and a carpetbag after being disowned by her wealthy family for loving the wrong man. Stranded and alone, she braces for the worst, until Cowboy Matt Donovan steps in with a simple offer of water, shelter, and honest kindness that begins to restore her hope. As she works at his family's boarding house, Lillian discovers strength she never knew she had and a gentle love she never expected. But rebuilding a life from ruins takes courage, and Lillian must decide if she's ready to embrace the future waiting for her. In the dusty little town of Rawhide, Nevada, in 1878, Lillian Davenport stepped off the stagecoach with nothing but a small carpetbag and the ache of a heart that had lost everything. Only weeks earlier, she had lived in luxury, silk dresses, gleaming chandeliers, and a family name that carried weight in every social circle. But all of it vanished the moment she chose love over status. Her affection for a traveling musician, Adam Pearce, had been deemed scandalous, foolish, and beneath the Davenport family name. When she refused to abandon him, her parents abandoned her instead. But love, she learned too late, did not always mean loyalty. Adam left her stranded the moment their money ran thin, boarding a wagon with another group of performers and leaving behind only a scribbled note apologizing for his change of heart. Lillian stood alone in a town she'd never heard of, broke, exhausted, and carrying the weight of shame. Rawhide was loud, miners shouting over drinks, wagons rattling down the dusty street, saloon doors swinging open with a crash, but Lillian felt more alone than ever. She found a spot outside the general store and sat on her bag, trying not to cry. The Nevada heat pressed down on her, unforgiving. That was when a shadow fell across her. "Ma'am, you look like you could use some water," a warm, steady voice said. She looked up to find a tall cowboy with sun-browned skin, deep-set hazel eyes, and a gentleness that surprised her. He held out a tin cup filled with cool water. "My name's Matt Donovan," he said with a quiet smile. "My family runs the Donovan boarding house. You look like you've had a rough journey." Lillian hesitated, expecting pity or mockery, but Matt offered neither. Only kindness. Within minutes, she found herself walking beside him toward a large white house at the edge of town. His mother, Martha Donovan, welcomed her with open arms and a warm meal, not bothering to ask why she looked so worn or why her eyes were red. That night, in a small room with a soft quilt and the smell of fresh lavender, Lillian cried, not from sorrow, but from relief. Over the following weeks, Lillian began working at the boarding house, cleaning rooms, setting tables, helping prepare meals. The Donovans insisted on paying her fair wages, refusing to let her feel like a charity case. For the first time in her life, Lillian felt the strength of her own independence. She learned to carry buckets of water, dust shelves, sew torn curtains, and even bake pies that soon became favorites among the guests. Matt was there every step of the way. He taught her how to saddle a horse, how to fix a squeaky hinge, and how to laugh again. Their conversations, whether while sweeping the porch or walking to the market, became the quiet moments she looked forward to each day. She told him her story one evening as the sun dipped behind the mountains, painting the sky gold. She expected judgment. She expected him to see her as a foolish girl. Instead, he simply nodded. "Sometimes folks have to lose everything," he said softly, "before they find what's real." Her heart warmed at his words. As seasons changed, so did their bond. Matt's affection was steady, not hurried, not demanding, but growing like the slow bloom of wildflowers after rain. Lillian felt her heart opening again, not with the reckless hope of before, but with a deep, unwavering trust. One crisp autumn morning, under the cottonwood tree behind the boarding house, Matt knelt on one knee and offered her a simple silver ring. "I'd be honored," he said, voice thick with emotion, "if you'd build a life with me." Tears shimmered in her eyes as she whispered yes. Their wedding was small, just the Donovans, a few boarders, and the warm Nevada wind carrying music of its own. Lillian didn't have silk or jewels, but she had something far greater, a family that chose her, a home she helped build, and a love born not from illusion, but from truth. And in Rawhide, a place she once feared, she discovered the life she'd always needed.